explore the concept of twist, how energy, direction, and tension shape yarn, and perhaps reflect how control and release shape your creative process. Welcome to episode 6 of Woolen Spinning Vlogmas 2025. If you are just checking out my videos and you are new here, you might want to watch episode 1 first, which is linked for you down below. I'll be releasing these videos every other day so that my production schedule isn't completely overwhelming, and I hope that you really enjoy them. One of the things that I appreciate most about podcasting is sharing an amazing community space with you. And if you like what you see and hear throughout Vlogmas, please consider joining us on Patreon. Links are below, and of course, please reach out to me with any questions. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. So today's prompt is full of technical talk, including the physics of twist and the art of control, the cornerstones of everything that we do to make yarn. We have covered these topics before on the podcast, particularly in the teaching content over the years. Twist is the heartbeat of yarn. It is the unseen architecture that binds fiber into coherence, transforming scattered filaments into something continuous, strong, and expressive. In spinning, twist represents both stored energy and intention, a physical record of motion that defines how a yarn will behave, drape, and endure. At its most scientific level, twist is a measure of rotations per unit length, the number of turns inserted into the fiber mass, expressed as twists per inch or TPI, or twists per meter, TPM. But beyond measurement, twist is the language of energy. It is the spinner's way of shaping motion into matter and of balancing control with release. Twist is energy in containment. Each rotation stores torsional force within the yarn, compressing fibers together through friction and cohesion. The direction of that twist, S twist if it's counterclockwise or Z twist if it's clockwise, determines the yarn's structure and interaction with subsequent processes such as plying or weaving. When viewed under magnification, the fibers in an S twist yarn slant in the middle stroke of the letter S, while Z twist fibers follow the diagonal of a Z. In hand spinning, direction is often chosen for practical reasons. Most right-handed spinners produce singles with Z twist and ply with S twist to balance torque or torsion. Yet direction also carries tactile consequences. Z-twist yarns tend to feel slightly crisper, while S-twist yarns may present a softer hand depending on the fiber and of course the finishing method. In weaving, the interplay between warp and weft twist can alter drape. In knitting, the twist directions affect both how stitches sit and how yarn untwists during use. Each decision, clockwise or counterclockwise, S or Z, sets up a chain of effects, a sequence of energetic relationships that ripple through the final fabric. Twist energy seeks equilibrium. If a single retains too much active torque, it kinks and coils back on itself when tension is released. This is energy unresolved, stored in the fibers like a coiled spring. By contrast, a well-balanced yarn, whether it's a singles or plied, holds its energy in quiet tension. It's stable, yet alive. It is this equilibrium between movement and stillness that defines both the yarn's integrity and the spinner's control. As many of us know, intuition guides much of hand spinning, but the science of twist can be quantified precisely. The twist multiplier, TM, or the twist factor, TF, expresses the relationship between twist per inch and yarn diameter. This ratio helps spinners compare yarns of different thicknesses, predicting handle, strength, and elasticity. Higher twist multipliers produce compact, firm yarns suitable for durable textiles like socks or warp threads. Lower twist multipliers yield softer, loftier yarns ideal for knitting or weft. Another measure, the twist angle, describes the angle formed between the yarn's axis and the direction of the surface fibers, usually between 10 and 40 degrees. Low angles, around 10 to 20 degrees, indicate low twist, open yarns that are airy, but they are weaker. High angles above 30 degrees suggest tightly twisted yarns with increased strength but reduced softness. Even subtle variations in twist angle can transform a yarn's elasticity, surface texture, and behavior in finishing. Another useful point of analysis for hand spinners is the distinction between counting twists per inch and counting bumps per inch, or BPI. Both methods aim to quantify the degree of twist, but they measure slightly different phenomena. Counting twists per inch involves identifying each complete 360-degree rotation of the yarn around its axis. This gives a direct measure of inserting twist energy and is the most accurate indicator for comparing yarns of different thicknesses or fiber types. Counting bumps per inch, on the other hand, records the raised ridges or spirals that are visible on the yarn's surface. This is the one that I use most of the time. Because each twist produces two visible bumps, one crest and one trough, bumps per inch readings yield roughly twice the numerical value of twists per inch. That would be true for a 2-ply, and then 3 times for a 3-ply, and so on. While bump counting can be easier by eye, particularly on darker textured yarns, it should be interpreted carefully when comparing yarn samples or calculating twist multipliers. For spinners, understanding the distinction ensures that twist assessments remain consistent and meaningful. Twist per inch, or TPI, reflects the actual mechanical energy stored in the yarn, while bumps per inch provides a quick visual shorthand for creating texture and tightness. Both methods, used intentionally, deepen a spinner's ability to link measurement to tactile result. Twist can also be measured indirectly by observing how far a known length of yarn untwists when released under tension, a method used in laboratory testing to assess residual torque. In the hands of a spinner, this observation becomes a practical art. Watching how a freshly spun single hangs reveals whether the stored energy seeks balance or demands further adjustment. And I will note here that I do these tests after the yarn has been washed and finished. I do not do it fresh off the wheel because so much of that twist energy dissipates in the water after finishing. Tension is the mediator of twist energy. It determines how evenly twist is distributed and how fibers align within the drafting triangle. When tension is too high, fibers are stretched and compacted. They produce a dense, wiry yarn that resists drape. Too much tension allows twist to bunch unevenly, leading to weak spots or slubs. The spinner's task is to maintain a consistent draft that allows twist to travel into the drafting zone at just the right rate, neither starving nor flooding the fiber supply. I love that visual of starving or flooding. We want to make sure that the twist, as it travels up into our fiber supply or travels to our drafting hand, that it doesn't overwhelm what's going on in the drafting zone, but it also doesn't leave us wanting and needing more twist to hold things together. From a mechanical standpoint, tension and twist interact through a feedback system. As twist increases, fiber cohesion rises, allowing the drafting tension before breakage. This relationship defines the twist limit, the point beyond which additional twist causes fiber break rather than added strength. Using this dynamic enables spinners to tailor yarns for their intended function. A hard spun worsted for strength, a softly twisted woolen for loft and warmth. Emotionally, tension holds a similar duality. It can strengthen or break depending on the balance. In both yarn and life, the skill lies not in eliminating tension, but in learning how much to hold and when to let go. There is a moment in spinning when twist becomes visible energy, a shimmer traveling up the drafting zone, a pulse that moves faster than the eye can follow. That moment where twist meets fiber is the threshold of transformation. In creative practice, it feels like the intersection between thought and making, control and surrender. Too little twist and the yarn falls apart, an idea not yet formed. Too much twist and it hardens, losing flexibility, an idea overworked. The art of spinning mirrors the art of creation, finding the tension that holds potential without constriction. The spinner's body senses this through subtle cues, the feel of resistance between thumb and forefinger, the way the fiber tightens or loosens as it draws out. These are micro moments of decision that shape the character of the yarn and by extension the work itself. In this way, twist becomes a metaphor for the balance between discipline and freedom. The energy inserted into the yarn, controlled, measured, intentional, must eventually be released into the ply, the weave, or the knit. Only then does the stored energy resolve into form. Just as plied yarn balances twist into stability, the creative process balances experimentation and refinement into meaning. There is something profoundly cyclical in the act of twisting fiber. It is motion made visible, energy captured in matter. The spinner's hands turn fiber into form through rotation, and that rotation records both physical and emotional state. Every yarn contains the trace of its spinner's rhythm, the steadiness of treadle, the pace of drafting, the precision of release. As I spin, I often think about how twist mirrors my own process of control and letting go. When I'm tense or hurried, the yarn reveals it tight, wiry, overwound. When I relax and trust the rhythm, the twist evens out, it's balanced and true. The wheel teaches in real time. Control is necessary, but only up to the point where energy can still flow freely. After that, control becomes resistance, release becomes craft. In the final yarn, twist remains invisible yet essential, the hidden architecture of strength. Its energy is neither lost nor diminished. It is transformed, distributed evenly throughout the structure. The yarn's integrity depends on this harmony of forces. Too much control and the fiber resists, too little and it unravels. Perhaps this is why spinners speak of, quote, putting energy into the yarn. It is not a metaphor, it is literal, measurable, and yet also symbolic. Each revolution of the wheel records a partnership between physics and intention. Twist at its core is the embodiment of transformation, movement into matter, effort turned into beauty, control balanced by release. When I spin, I am reminded that creativity itself depends on twist. The energy that we gather, the direction that we choose, the tension we learn to hold until it becomes strength. For more about woolen spinning in our community, please have a look in the down bar. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can find me on Instagram as @woolenspinning. Check out the Patreon community to join at patreon.com/woolenspinning/join. I'll see you in the next episode number 7, The Perfect Yarn, or not. And until then, happy spinning. Bye for now.